Hey everybody, welcome. This is going to be a reading for the month of June at the 6/6 portal, and which is today, and it coincides with a new moon in Gemini. Uh, just looking over my notes on the theme for June, and this moon kind of go hand in hand, so it's perfect that they're on the same day. It's sort of like keying us into, keying us into really taking a look at these things and dealing with them. So, um, yeah, okay. The first thing I want to say about like new moon always is new phase, new chapter. Um, this one's focusing a lot around communication and connection with self. So not so much others, but it's coming up really big around um, connecting with ourself, paying attention to um, our communication skills, like for ourselves, how we talk to ourselves, our thoughts, how we, you know, how we. It's tapping in a lot to like our mental health and wellness this month. So the big key though is like we said in the week read is it's really coming down to like coming back into the heart, making sure we have a good balance between heart and mind, that we're not all up here thinking all these thoughts and believing all these thoughts, that we're checking in with the heart, and what it believes and what we should say. So, like I did say in the last video, it's like super important for us to quiet the mind and listen to the heart instead. Listen to your heart. Probably be the theme song of this video. So, um, yeah, again, things that can help us do that is like journaling, vision boarding, even just the thing about like not necessarily doing this completely alone as well. Connect with like-minded people, have those good conversations, making sure um, we're in check mental health wise. And the reason I say this is just I feel like a lot of us are being like really hard on ourselves through this whole process, um, and we just need to be nicer. And like I think it came up in the last video too. It needs to be more simplistic in terms of you know we are already doing what we're supposed to be doing, and so not being so hard on ourselves about that, and just really observing and loving and enjoying this process rather than making it stressful and all of those things, right? Make sure you're giving your thoughts room to be heard too, is what I'm hearing. So, like, yeah, like we're not suppressing our thoughts, but we want to watch what we're saying. Like, so if something negative does kind of pop into our awareness or what we think about ourselves, is take the time to inquire about that and is it true? Like, most of the time when you ask that first question, is it true? The answer is no, and then that's pretty much the end of it. So yeah, in this reading we're gonna go right into the cards because I'm also gonna try to be conscious of time. I know it's hard to watch an hour-long video in your day. So yeah, let's jump right in. We're gonna start with the June energies and talk about that overall. Um, so the 6/6 portal is really an ascension portal. So we're all in this ascension process. And that's, part of that process is like it's about us learning about ourselves and learning all these new skills that we're having come up. So this is a lot about us really paying attention to us and how we're feeling and what we're doing and how we're processing everything, but not being hard on ourselves. Like, you have to remember all this stuff does take time to process. So don't beat yourself up. Um, yeah. And then part of this thing is like this enters us into the solstice gateway on the 21st, 22nd, one of those 2 days. I haven't really looked into it yet, but we will. Obviously, I'll do the week read that week, and then we'll also have a solstice kind of thing. Our halfway through the year checkpoint. Okay, so what I want to do is we're going to do 3 portal cards for this June and just see what June is all about here, what we're working on. And then I've got a couple other cards. Well, ooh. Yeah, I don't know about you, but like today started off with a interesting like there's a little bit of strangeness afoot in my city, so uh, we're just kind of yeah. Part of the thing too for this month is I say this and we don't say this to like in the panic sort of way, but it's like we really need to be observing because we're being like it came up before we're being shown lots of signs and symbols and and all of that. So paying attention to those synchronicities and things. Um, but it's also like eyes on to like really looking at events and so that we can start to like be like, okay, this is what's really happening, right? So we're not getting bamboozled by things. Anyway, that's a whole other subject. We won't get into it in this unless it comes up in the cards and then we'll get into it. Okay, first up for the month of June, Emerald Tablet Activation. Cosmic ordering, divine alchemy, and conscious manifesting. We got this again last week, so or for the week read. Um, yeah, we're just again, we're just in a process of everything's kind of being put into place. There's a divine process and alchemy happening. We're in it, right? Like sometimes when we're in it, we're not seeing all that's happening, but there's so much going on. And the conscious manifesting, again, that comes back to the theme for the month and this moon is really watch um, our thoughts in terms of like if we're constantly berating ourselves and then there's no like counterbalance to that or like or just a letting go of that projection of ourselves, and we're manifesting in that same thing over and over and over and over. So really work on like again, feel your feelings, get through any sort of like things that come up, work through them, and then make sure we're in the process of letting things go, but also we're counterbalancing that by dreaming about or thinking about what we do want to see and how we want to see it, right? That's just conscious manifesting, purposeful manifesting. All right, month of June also, this portal is the light initiation, great teacher awakening, divine magic. I mean, that's cool. Yeah, it's just like like I said, we're in a process. We're getting all this new information, right? You may not end up being the teacher. You might be finding a teacher. But like these connections are starting to really open, and we're really blinking our eyes open to this new energy and our ability and what we can do with it. Yeah, okay, so this makes sense. The June though, like I said, I think I said, I don't know, it's still gonna be, it's all we're not heading into this like magical thing instantly. We're still in the karmic board clearing. So energetic clearing, rewrite your story. Again, live your truth. These are the things is like I think previously those things were really difficult to do. It was tough to rewrite the story because we were all in a narrative that was not of our own choice, right? But now the slate is kind of clean. It's karmically being cleared for us. So it's like allow this energetic clearing to happen. You do your work of energetic clearing as well. And then on top of that, just know that the universe is like working on this stuff too and pulling that veil away so that we can like rewrite the story and live, you know, our heart's true desire of love and light and how this really works, right? Fun. I'm good with that. It's a good month. June's a good month to do that. Okay, I'm gonna do 3 of these chakra cards for the month of June, and then I'm gonna do and like again seeing what we're dealing with. Okay, first up, we got seeing again. Perspective, truth, knowledge, clarity. Honestly, that just means this month, not only that, like, yes, our gifts are coming online, we're starting to like really utilize them, pay attention to them, understand how they work. In the outside world, um, truths are coming, clarity is coming. Like our perspective um, it's going to be changing. Like it's going to show us how to change these things, um, or I shouldn't say change these things. The perspective is that we've been sold a certain perspective of things, and now we're going to be able to just be more in tune and be able to again see the bigger picture rise up, have a different perspective on things, and be like, okay, that's the truth. I can see it now. Seeing for June. We also got forgiveness, which is letting go, healing, growth, compassion. That is like I think the big theme for this moon and continuing through the month to solstice. Again, solstice too is kind of like that celebration of yes, it's the midway through things, the middle point of like, you know, our year. But it's also about like it is about like really coming into like fruition and like it's not spring anymore, right? It's not the um everything's just starting to grow. It's like, hey, look at me, I'm fully grown and like look how beautiful I am, kind of thing. That's the summer energy. I would say this forgiveness thing is interesting too because it's like this is about forgiveness of self, I'm feeling. So again, really having compassion for ourselves in this process, letting go of all the things not serving us. Like we're still doing this work that needs to be done. So and growth. I the thing I love too is the we've got the rainbow in there, um, and the dandelion with the this is typically of making a wish. So it's again with this theme of like we need to be like continuously putting in the thought of what we want to see and what we wish for and again this is a heart chakra card too in the green, right? Like we've got to be like coming from that heart centered space to create this new place. So it's about wishing and dreaming and hoping and healing. Healing's a big one. I think particularly for this moon too. And even though, like I said at the beginning, it does focus a little more around your mental health and things like that. It's still and mental health always goes hand in hand with physical health. If your mental health is low, if we're not experiencing joy or connecting with nature or we're disconnected, we're not able to tap into the heart as easily and that kind of stuff. And then our physical body usually ends up showing us symptoms of these, right? So really work this month. It sounds selfish, but this is like I think the key to ascension is selfishness. And that's going to sound like completely bizarre, but this is a selfishness that's in a good way. Like we have to be taking care of ourselves. June is like it's feeling like this is really critical because the next few months after that, there's just going to be so much change that if you're not in a good position yourself, it's going to be a real struggle through those months. Like, and we don't, like we don't want to be in that place. We don't have to, if we don't have to, right? So why would we not do the work right now and get it together and be like ready to go for this, this next big shift? Oh, I love this card. So the overall theme again for June 40, it's a 44, it's a master number card, angels as well. Um, Awareness, attention, reality, connection, presence. Yeah. And this is a presence that also comes from taking care of yourself because we know that like so we're not up here in this mental chatter, but we've learned to connect head and heart and we're checking in, discerning with everything and making sure, like you still want to rely on your brain because it has some good, it knows some things. It has knowledge, right? Our intuition is up here too, but we're checking it in the heart space too. So just really paying, I said at the beginning of this thing, it's like it's all about eyes on right now. Like making sure we're paying attention. We're not just getting lost in like again, like if we're like doubting ourselves, going down in the dumps, it's okay to spend 1 or 2 or even 3 days there, especially if you're going through like a grief process or something like that. But these aren't places we want to stay because it's not helping us further our ascension process and our development. So, um, yeah, at every time that you can be, make sure you're awake, you're aware, you're paying attention. Reality, right? There, that's part of the thing though, is like the seeing and the truth and all these. If your eyes are open, you've got eyes to see and ears to hear. You're going to not have a problem discerning what's really going on and what the truth of things is because you can objectively look at something or take it up to a higher perspective again and be like, okay, that is not true. That is, this works for me. I'm gonna like go down this timeline and in this, direction. That works for me and sounds good for me. Yeah, fun month, right? All right, I'm gonna do 3 of these yantra cards just to kind of summarize June, and then I've got that. I'm trying to keep it short, but it's just not gonna be. I should do timestamps on it, and then maybe if you just want it, if you don't want to, if you just want the moon stuff, if you just came here for the moon stuff, I'll try to timestamp this so that you can just fast forward if you want, or watch it in 2 pieces, whatever. I should have done the moon first, then I guess. Sorry. Okay, first up, exhale, surrendering. This is everything we just talked about. So, like, instead of like chicken littling it right now and freaking out about everything and being hard on ourselves, take a breath, a deep, deep breath. Inhale all the way, and then nice, big, audible exhale. Let it go. Surrender to this process. The interesting thing is, I feel like we're always like feeling like we have to be doing something in this process. But it's the cards we had earlier. It's divine alchemy. Like, this is being, the universe basically has this covered. It's not, there's simple things we need to do. And the big one is we're our own responsibility. So stop taking things so to heart and so seriously. Try to simplify this process if you can. Um, and just, again, it's about being aware and being present and being conscious and just, doing your little daily thing. It's like taking a shower every day. It's like, make sure you're cleansing your thoughts and your emotions, and like just a quick little checklist. Like, am I, do I need to work on anything today? Am I feeling okay? No, I'm not feeling grounded. Okay, I'm going to go outside and I'm going to like watch the birds for half an hour, whatever it is, right? It's like a daily checklist of like, you don't put a daily checklist out for yourself going, did I shower today? Some people might, I don't know. but we don't do that. It's kind of like it's part of our natural routine. So make those other check-ins for spiritual stuff, like that you've done that. Check in with your emotions. Do I need a good cry today? Do I need a good laugh? What do I need to infuse more joy today? Like, what are the things? Okay, we also got generosity for the month, which is giving. Um, it's interesting. I'm going to put a caveat on that because I feel like if it depends where you are in this state of going through this month. So as soon as you feel ready and you've done your work and you feel like you're in a good place, that's the time to be giving to others, right? Ooh, this video is really slowing down. Interesting. Anyway. Okay, and this is funny. This is here, you can use this for the theme of June. Non-resistance. Accepting what is. Again, this isn't just about accepting, it's about trust. We have to trust the universe. We have to trust the plan. There is a plan in place. I know it doesn't always seem like that, but it is. So, okay, I'm going to do one of these Nature's Rhythm Oracle cards for the month too. And I have to read the book for them because honestly, they're fractal. So there's a little, that's the one. There's a little bit of a description, but it's just not quite enough. Oh, interesting. I haven't had this card yet. It's beautiful. They're so beautiful, these cards. Soul food. I ingest clean, soul fulfilling food. Okay. Yeah, that goes back to this body thing. The body is part of this connection for the month. It's not just mental health. It's all of the health of us, right? Checking in mentally, physically, spiritually. I know right now it's difficult to like the food thing is sometimes a bit of an issue, whether it's financial, whether it's just the fact that they've just, it's not always necessarily good. Whatever you're going to do, just do your best and try to stay away from the things that don't fulfill your soul, right? Like we're in summer here. If you're like winter, I don't know, but just again, try to eat more nourishing foods. Um, and that kind of thing. Salads and stuff if you're in summer, soups and stews if you're in winter. Um, okay, let's read this. Pay close attention. Again, that's a theme that's coming up a lot. It's about perspective and paying attention, right? Eyes on, everybody, eyes on. Pay close attention not only to the food you ingest, but also to what you consume with your eyes and ears. Like, honestly, I should just call this channel You Can't Make This Beep Up. I'm going to read this one more time. Pay close attention not only to the food you ingest, but also to what you consume with your eyes and ears. If your soul feels unfulfilled, you're lacking soulful nutrition. In a world of endless information and distraction, be intentional with what you consume. All things either nurture or deplete you. Soul food is nurturing. Consume only what aligns with your body, mind, and spirit. Discipline and moderation are the keys. What are you ingesting that disrupts the balance of your soul? Whew. This, I'm just going to finish June on this card because it's just saying exactly what we just went through. Use this card to reveal the abundant and nurturing qualities of Mother Earth. Okay, honestly. So, well, that concludes the June portion of this reading. Actually, I'm just gonna do what I always do though with the portal and the month. It's just 2/22/22 there, so I could probably just end it there, but I wanna. What we're gonna do is like the three cards that kind of how June plays in to the rest of the year. So these cards again have the different seasons on them. So we like to read them as to like sort of what's coming up. So like following June, what's coming up. Okay, interesting. So June, doing this work in June. Um, so when we get an Arcana card, it's like whatever's happening right now. It's the dreamer. It's the fool. It's new beginnings. So this is going to transition us nice right into this moon read because this is about again, any new moon is kind of about new beginnings, but I think we're at a really key one heading into solstice here. So the dreamer, um, yeah, embrace your true purpose, begin a new adventure, trust yourself. There you go. That's a big one for this month. It's not just about trust the universe. It's like you gotta start that. You know what? That's funny because that came up and I didn't mention it in this video yet. And it's been coming up in readings and things for everybody. It's like, especially when you're just learning to be intuitive. And this is the thing, and I've said this all the time, and I say this to all my clients too. Everybody has these abilities. It's not just me. I just happened to like stumble into them earlier in life and understand how they worked a little bit earlier than other people. Um, so as the thing that was the hardest about being intuitive, and it still is trusting the information I'm getting. And it's going to be the same for you. You have to develop that trust to be intuitive because if you don't trust yourself, and again, we're doing our due diligence, making sure, we're not tapping into like false light or something like that. It's like you've done the due diligence of protecting yourself and asking the right questions of lower, making sure lower energy is not playing into it and that it's not part of it, then you have to start like discerning that own your intuitive voice and being like, I can trust this information because this is the truth. That's what June's going to be about, is us learning to trust ourselves, not just the universe, right? Fun. Okay, the two cards we got, that so June then links right up to, this is going to take us through, this energy is going to take us through, I mean, it'll be different in July and August. We'll see what we get for those readings. This what we do now matters to like what happens in the fall. So, first up, Prince of Autumn. Cautious but wise action, meticulous attention to detail, and kindness to others. It's someone who's dependable, protective, chivalrous, and humorous. So yeah, we're just needing to be embody that more. Like, so by fall, it's like we're working towards like the action part of this ascension. We also got the 10 of Autumn. Take steps to ensure the financial security of your children and other loved ones, making wise investments or planning for retirement, honoring family traditions. I'd say this is just more that, like, yeah, like right now, like financially, like we're in kind of a strained place. It's a system that isn't really working for us. It's like, so I would just consider these next few months, particularly in June, start looking at alternatives, whatever that is. Um, yeah, just our current system is like, it could be on its way out, right? At any moment. So I would just, investigate a little bit. And they're just saying, investigate a little bit into other ways that, that you can keep your finances secure and worth something. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not a financial advisor, but um, I'll just leave that there. So that's just like their last little message for June. Overall, it's about ourselves, but it's also about making sure we're okay heading into the fall. So make sure, it's funny, it's called Into the Fall, like the big fall. Anyway, we won't go into that. We're going to get into this moon reading and kick off like what we should be doing for that. So, yeah, mostly let's sum it up. Make sure you're taking care of yourself, you're doing your work, you're clearing your energy, thoughts, that, and dreaming in the new. That's pretty much come up in the last few readings. That's the Coles notes of it. Um, yeah, and just check finances a little bit in terms of like what can you do um, to like make sure like no matter what happens that you're covered. That's all. Just again, simplistic stuff and not to worry because we don't even know what's going to happen or how it's going to happen, which makes things a little difficult. But if you're if you're of that mind and you want to, get some metal in your life, I don't think that would be a bad thing. Anyway, okay, let's take a look at this moon in Gemini. Again, like I said, it ties in nicely to what we've just already been reading here. Um, and I'm going to write that number down, 2827. Oops. That's the timestamp. So I can put that in the notes if you just want to skip to the moon reading. Okay, let's have a look at the overall thing for the moon. It's great. Okay. Okay. It's funny. I have a feeling these cards are they're pretty much exactly what I just said. Just like if you want to tune out now, you can just, we got the new moon card, which is a new start is coming. So, I mean, that one's pretty simple. Um, Again, it's time to release negativity. So we're still in that thing is making sure we're not hanging on to this stuff that is no longer serving us, and not, like it's just not. It's an old program that we're running a lot of the times, right? Because the next card we got is show the world the real you. make sure you're, and again, it's this Aquarian theme. It's like, I think the thing too is that like with all this intuition and stuff coming in and trusting ourselves is true alchemy. There's a phrase in there, and it's like know thyself. That is the way you turn you into gold. Like you have to know what it is you're about and stand for, and what you want, right? And so this moon is kind of perfect for that. Like I said, I'm just looking down at my notes. This is about really connecting with yourself and like, who am I? And we're looking at this not for like who you've been or what we've been programmed to be. This is a new blank. This is the blank slate again, and it's like, it's not just who do I want to be, but like, who am I deep down? Like, we all have those feelings and emotions and dreams, and it's like you have to tap into those and start like we have to speak them into being, right? So it's like, I am a divine being, like, just to say that, but what does, I'm just paying that, am I just paying that lip service? And I don't really know what that means. So this is like a deep dive of self this month too, like, and this moon, like, spend this next 4 days, because I wrote that down. Yeah, I can't remember where I heard this, but it's like, there's the 3 days, like starting today and then the next 3 days, that energy is there for you to tap into, and those positive vibes are there to for you to like be able to like tune into and figure out like, who am I, and what, like, moving forward, what is the new earth me, what do I look like there, like, what am I doing, am I, like, all of those things. And again, dream beyond your capacity, because the thing is a lot of the time we're dreaming about, you know um we're involving, like, we're putting limitations on ourselves, right? um yeah, okay, okay, yeah, we're putting limitations on ourselves because we I mean, it's a little impossible because we can't see how great things could be, but it's almost like it's forcing us to be like, hey, you've got to dream big, you've got to. All right. What else is this moon about? Again, flow, letting go, and natural movement. Again, it ties in right back to the beginning. This is like you know, we're going with this flow and the feelings and letting everything karmically clear. Um, but letting it go. Natural movement's the interesting one, because that's sort of the one where I'm saying like just just be like, this isn't a forced thing we have to do. Like, sometimes some of the best epiphanies you'll have, right, that came up in the epiphanies in the week read, is going, just go for a walk and just like separate your mind from everything going on at the moment and just dream and daydream, and like go sit in a park and look up at the sky and cloud bust, and and just, allow that joy to percolate, and that connection, and that's usually when our greatest epiphanies happen. And it's those epiphanies too where it's like, you'll have the thought or the idea about something, and it's like, it makes sense, and then that's that part where you're like, I trust this. I came up with this, right? This is my belief, like, I'm gonna run with this. Right? We also got, okay, the spiral dancer. Um, Again, for me, this is always just like, we're in the ascension process. We're things are going, but it's just like, just understanding like it's part of the plan. The word though I want to think is perception is on there again, so that word has come up a couple times in these cards. Um, so I think it's like super important. Again, perception too is that like is part of the whole thing, like using our intuition, using our like in or sorry, perception and intuition to like to discern like what's working for us. Yeah, like really being keen with like how we're seeing and visualizing things. Again, I'm going to go back and read that soul food one right at the end of this because that's obviously like it's about seeing and hearing and comprehending and perceiving and how we're like putting that out into the world right now. It seems to be the critical piece. So it's not just that we need to change our perception on things, but our perception is changing. And so it's like as we go through change, sometimes that's super uncomfortable. And we can get lost in that shuffle where we're like, I don't believe this, like this is too much. Like it's like again, always with perspective things, always pull back out and just see them from the higher perspective and the bigger picture if you can every time. Um, and then yeah, and when you get those the good epiphanies, run with them. Um, because we also got the Metal King, which is discipline and armor. So it's just like it's this again, this is a process and it's work. It's not going to be necessarily easy, but like I think discipline came up in that too. Discipline and moderation are the keys. This is the soul food. Like it's just yeah, it's like I said, it's the checklist. It's like we have to make sure we're doing this stuff every day. That we're not resting on our laurels and just waiting for the universe to hand us something because we do have a part to play. We don't have to make it this very complicated thing that we do, but we have to keep our awareness and be awake and keep our eyes on. I'm going to just keep saying that too. Um, and again, and then as all that's coming in, checking in with the heart, seeing what resonates. Does that feel good? If it doesn't, like, how do we need to change things that work for you, not anybody else, just you? Okay, so this the last card in this is the winged wise ones, angelic help and miraculous aid. Okay, that's really critical because what was that other? We got that 44 card too in the June read. Um, again, it's just spirit reminding us that, and the universe reminding us we are not alone in this process whatsoever. So make sure that if you're getting overwhelmed or you're not, like you're trying something new, like for intuition wise, but you're just not sure, or you're not feeling protected, or those kind of things, that you're asking for help, like that you're bringing in the guide team and being like, you guys, I really want to investigate into this and I want to know if it's true. And I'm, not necessarily getting the right feel or answer at heart. It's just like bring in the team of guides and angels and really ask and ask for signs and symbols, right? Like show me what, like what does this mean for me? Yeah, it's again, these are the things that we have to do, which is called the work around it. All right, let's see if we can get a little bit more clarification. And then, like I said, the very last card I'm going to read is this soul food from this Nature's for the Miracle, because honestly, it sums up both the month read and this moon. This moon, it's interesting because I had a feeling because they were together, like that's why I'm reading them together instead of two separate videos, is because I knew that like I had the distinct feeling that this moon was going to be like it's the kickoff to how June is going to go. So make sure you're doing these things to like kick it off and do well through June. All right, first up, this is so funny. Okay, believe in your good luck. Here's the thing though, it's like I want to like rephrase that a little bit, but it's again, believe in yourself. This isn't luck that's happening to us. This is like it's our natural state of being, and it's just being revealed to us for the first time. So we're really being asked to believe in yourself, believe in yourself. Um, we got another thing in Aquarius, a new moon in Aquarius. Interesting, it's the Aquarian vibe is coming in a little bit here. New moon in Aquarius, open to change. Yeah, so that's the other thing too, is like it's like gotta make sure we're not sitting in fear of this change. It's like, and again, if we're opening to change, but we're nervous or fearful of the uncertain, That's, again, if you're not getting those answers at heart center, then ask for them and ask the divine intelligence and the angels and all of that. It is there for us to utilize and get those answers. And everybody can do it. It's not just, you know, and it might be like that's the thing. It's like a good thing to it's a good thing to open up to and start working on, right? Is that helps you trust your intuition. Is your guides are always going to be there for you, but working with them definitely always boosted my intuitive abilities. So um we got another Sagittarius card too. See the bigger picture. I'm not even going to read that one because I just explained all that about perspective. And again, this whole reading is about perspective, eyes to see, ears to hear, discernment, but also like listening and shutting this down, quieting this. You still need this to like process part of this information, but checking back in with the heart and seeing what's coming up there. So interesting. It's such a good read. This is a great read. They go well hand in hand. I'm glad I did them together, not separate. Okay. Okay. First up is self-regulation. Um, Honestly, this just goes back to the beginning of the video. Is like make sure for this moon and this month that you're really working. The key in that is like not so much regulation, but self. It is all about ourselves. And the regulation is a little bit like make sure again that you're doing those checks and balances and that you're like not just leaving everything open to chance and fate. The really interesting thing about this card that I always love is like all this rainbow energy is coming in right into the bull. The bull or Taurus is like an earth-based sign. And when we are in Taurus and getting things like that, it's like it's what is here now happening on the ground, boots on the ground. Um, so and also that looks more like a full moon. So it's like again, you've got 2 weeks now from here till the full moon. I can't remember what the moon is in. Shoot, I looked at that too. It doesn't matter. It does. So go look it up, but like I'll include it as we get closer. It's really important though that like we're boots on the ground right now, bull on the ground, like take the bull by the horns and start like pulling this energy in because that's part of the shift that we need to happen. It's interesting because we also got the protection card still comes up, but I think this is really just like two things trusting in the universe that you are protected, but it goes back to the angels and guides, and it's like if there's any fear of anything like coming up in you, just stop and ask for support and protection from that side. Because that's the other thing too is like as you delve into your intuition, and I don't want to say like we don't say, and again, I don't like saying things to scare people, but it's like we still there's still lower energy, and that will try to like it'll try to mess with you if you let it, right? Like that's why like the food thing comes in. It's like if we're not like taking good care of ourselves, we open ourselves to this lower energy. I don't know about you, but like so say I go and do like have a couple drinks or something. The next day, like and I don't know if this is just an age thing or an energy thing, but like the booze blues the next day are like really getting terrible for me. Like I'm very like self-deprecating, self-loathing, like it lowers the energy like so incredibly that it's like it's almost out of control. So like I've been doing my best to like really cut down on that because it's just I know that what that next day is going to be like and I don't need that energy right now. So whatever we can do to protect and fortify ourselves, we really need to be doing. So and again, I'm not harping on you to like change your whole lifestyle and not just be really careful. And like if you are going to drink or do whatever, um ask your guides and angels to come in and protect you and to bless whatever you're doing just so that it's like we're not being susceptible to negative energy. That's Okay. Anyway, we also got abundance though. So then that's nice is like it's like these gifts are coming and everything is opening up and um it's sort of like this is like the last kind of card I think that I'm going to draw, but it's like they're just saying, "Hey, guess what? It's all the gifts are coming. Like we're showering you in abundance. It is happening. Just we're so close kind of thing, right?" So don't don't panic. I am going to do three of these because I brought them out and I don't always do them for the moon things, but they just wanted to be seen. Oops. Okay. Yeah, this is a good sum up. Okay. Going back to like the start. Stillness, quieting the mind. I allowed stillness to heal and reveal. Again, if we're not healing and working on those things and doing our self-care, um, new things can't be revealed to us, right? So really working on that. I focus on what is working. So again, instead of like again, they're really like this abundance and manifestation thing is quite high. So it is a lot about watching our thoughts and just making sure we're doing that work. Um, I have unlimited potential and claim my purpose. All I need is within me. Yeah, we don't need to seek. It's not the time of seeking outside anymore. This is all a self journey, right? Self-guided journey. um, which is really funny because the last card we got is collaboration brings more sweetness into my life and into my world. Here's the thing is that like, yeah, this month is a lot about um like I don't want to say self improvement, but that's what it is. It's like make sure you're working on yourself. You're getting your ducks in a row. We're not worrying about other people. They're supposed to be doing that for themselves. But the thing is that like the flower of life is coming together, right? We've talked about this before. Make sure your petal is nice and shiny and got good edges because it's all coming together. Hive is coming together, right? To collaborate. So I feel like that's sort of like the end of the month, June. Like we're starting to come back together and to these things, but just realize that like right now the focus from this moon, at least until the next moon, the full moon, or until the end of June, is all about self. Take care of yourself. Take care of yourself. Like seriously. I'm gonna read this soul food card one more time that came up for the month of June. Let's look at it. Let me read this because it couldn't be more perfect. I ingest clean, soul fulfilling food. Pay close attention, not only to the food you ingest, but also to what you consume with your eyes and ears. Is if your soul feels unfulfilled, you are lacking soulful nutrition. In a world of endless information and distraction, and it's really at a high right now, right? Be intentional with what you consume. All things either nurture or deplete you, right? Let's work on the nurturing of self. Soul food is nurturing. Consume only what aligns with your body, mind, and spirit. Discipline and moderation are the keys. What are you ingesting that disrupts the balance of your soul? Use this card to reveal the abundant and nurturing qualities of Mother Earth. Again, get out there and connect with nature. That's a lot of the time where our answers are going to come from. So I kind of wanted to keep this like right around here. It's not too bad. So we're going to leave it there for the month. And yeah, the big thing, take care of yourself. Right now, we've got 1 month to just buckle down and get the rest of the stuff that we need to clear cleared and take nurture ourselves, nature ourselves, and really just love ourselves first, right? That's how we fly. First, love yourself. Okay, that's going to be it. Take care, and we will see you for probably the next thing is going to be the moon, or is it going to be, yeah, there's a moon in there before. So, oh no, are they on the same day? I better go and look that up. Anyway, there'll be a week read coming up the next couple months or weeks. um, and then, yeah, solstice and the whatever the full moon is. All right. Okay. Take care of yourself. I love you above everything. Remember, you're loved. Okay. Thank you. I don't know why I'm saying thank you. Take care.